What's up, you Weeb Trash? We're Weeb Trash as well. I'm Cody.
I'm Dean.
And I'm here.
Yay, we're all here. We're not dead. We've been gone for like 2 weeks.
We're all here. I think it's like 3.
I don't remember.
Well, by the time YouTube comes out, it'll be like 3.
Yeah. Well, you know,
2 weeks on Spotify.
it's fine.
Do we get Apple Music going?
Probably I haven't checked since I set it up. Listen, I
Yeah, a
got like
couple
busy immediately after that. So I was
A
like,
couple of people asked like if we're on Apple Music. I said maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a Cody question.
Listen, you look it up and you tell me if I'm on Apple Music.
I know if
just
I
show
am,
up.
but you tell me.
All I do is turn my computer on.
You press like 3 to 4 buttons and you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been gone. We did stuff. Mostly not watching anime, but we watched other things and did other things, and yeah. So
Did I watch anything?
Yeah, did you watch it? So I guess the question in the last 2 to possibly 3 weeks, has anyone watched anything we weren't collectively watching that was like ongoing?
I watched the first episode of Ruby Ice Queen.
Oh, the like hour and a half one, because it's like episode 1 through 3.
I just watched the first episode.
So
It's
was it
on
like
Crunchyroll.
was it like 20
Yes.
minutes or was it like an hour though?
I think it was like 25 minutes.
Oh, okay, because they released
they-
like 1 through 3 at once at one point.
Yeah.
In like one
Yeah.
video file.
Oh no, it's separate ones.
Okay.
I watched it because obviously we're all hanging out whenever Ruby came out. We all watched it.
Yeah.
We watched it consecutively for a long time.
Up through like what, season
5, I
3?
think. 3 or 5, or 3 or 4, I think.
Somewhere in there.
We had watched it regularly.
For a
and
hot
then
minute, yeah.
Yeah,
It started.
probably after Monty died.
We watched it like I think another season or 2 after he died.
Yeah. I think we're probably
Uh,
just like 1 or 2, maybe 3 seasons behind. I don't know how far they are in now.
I don't
We should
know.
put 9,
I
isn't
think we're
it?
pretty fucking far behind.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay. Well, we're further behind than I thought we were.
Yeah.
Oops.
But I watched the first episode because I kept seeing it on the it's on the updated list on Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, like obviously, nothing's dubbed. It's just in Japanese audio, Japanese voice acting cast. Pretty good cast though. I was watching it today, just because I remember watching that first episode so many times. And so basically, this first episode, do you remember the red, white, and black trailers that they had on YouTube that introduced the characters before the actual show?
Oh
started?
yeah.
They
I
kind of
think I
put that.
do.
They kind of put that all into one episode because it was like Weiss and her fighting that fucking like knight thing that was in there. The train scene with Blake.
The club scene with Yang.
See, they didn't have that in there, so I didn't know. I don't know why they left that one out.
Hmm.
But it was
Seems
basically
dusty.
it was basically those trailer character intros, and then it was Ruby at the dust shop whenever what's his name, tries to rob her.
Torchwick.
Yeah, Torchwick, that's
Yeah,
the one.
Roman
I
Torchwick.
think that's a
then she-
Pokemon. Thank you.
Yeah, Torchick's up there robbing stores.
But it's pretty, it looks really good. It's animated really well. It looks really cool. Kind of excited to see it. Don't know if I want to go back and watch the original because it's really dated CG.
So that's a question, because this will kind of bleed into what I wanted to talk about with Trigun's new Stampede trailer.
Yeah.
Do you prefer this new animation or the old Ruby animation?
I mean, even when Ruby came out, it was kind of rough,
Okay.
but it had a charm about it, I think. Plus,
Yeah.
we all really liked Rooster Teeth, so it was kind of like
It was easier for us to just kind of get past it.
Yeah.
to accept it because it was something that we consumed anyway.
So I've watched a little bit of it. Like, I've seen not all of the Weiss fight, but I saw a good portion of it, and I watched like the comparison of the Nevermore fight, the big bird thing.
Yeah, See, that
There are
was a
some
really good
scenes in there that look really fucking like the budget hits. They put money into it. but a lot of it just seems very like I don't know if it's like I'm trying to
in the new one?
expect the old
Ice Cream?
stuff or the new stuff. Like there's just a disconnect for me that it doesn't look bad, but
Right.
some characters look better than, like Weiss looks fine. Weiss is actually like probably one of the better ones. Ruby, I cannot like look at Ruby for very long. It's like her eyes, since they like made them more predominantly gray, look soulless, and it's like
Oh yeah.
Oh,
she looks
they
very
didn't-
flat-faced as well, and I'm like, I don't
She's
understand.
supposed to have like the silver eyes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like
Doesn't come across well.
Her
yeah.
eyes are bigger in the show. Her eyes-
Yeah, I think it makes her face look flatter, because like Weiss
Yeah.
doesn't have that issue for the most part. And there are parts in that Nevermore fight where it's not an issue and like the animation is like spot on, but there's some that aren't.
So did they get to they got to the Nevermore fight in the new one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how far past that they are, but that has been animated because I've
I've
seen a
only
bunch of like comparison videos.
Crunchyroll's only got 3 episodes.
But I mean, it looks
Yeah,
fine.
I haven't checked it out yet. Just 'cause-
It was worth checking out. I thought. It was
Yeah,
really good.
I think part of it has just been like my ADHD's been fucking going crazy. Where it's just like, yeah, I can't watch anything subtitled because like I'm going to be doing other things.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my phone in my hand.
Yeah, I will have my phone out. I will be playing a different game. I'll have my Switch. I'll grab my guitar. Like I have to be doing something else. I can't just sit there and watch and read. It's just like, wait, you want me to use my eyes and ears for this? You get one or the other, man.
Not both. I think honestly, since we're familiar enough with the story, like I didn't have any issue just like watching the YouTube comparison and being like, that looked cool. It's like, you know what the Nevermore fight is. Like there's no real story thing. You could just kind of like throw it on and not pay attention to the subtitles because it doesn't really matter what they're saying. It's cool that it exists. Just, you know.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because it got
Confusing.
really popular in Japan.
Yeah, Japan was like, yo, we're about this.
They're like, oh, this is an American anime.
Yeah, they're like, what? How'd that
Yeah,
work?
But yeah, I remember when Lindsay was talking about like how crazy it got popular in Japan and they weren't expecting it to.
I wonder if it's more popular than King of the Hill. King of the Hill is apparently also really big in Japan. I don't know, just strange thing. But yeah, so that kind of brings up the Trigun thing. Like,
So
I'll just pepper this in. Have we all seen the trailer? Because
I haven't seen the trailer. Dean sent me pictures from it.
okay, well that's good enough. It looks kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Like I hate to say
mean-
that, but there's like 2 or 3 scenes
So-
that look good, and the rest looks fucking bad.
There were several things. I'm trying to remember what was exactly that I.
I'm
sent
sure
you.
you phrased it eloquently.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's.
Oh, because you messaged me thoughts, and I was like, I am not loving the style change, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
And you were like,
yeah.
and I said he looks like he's Vash by day and K-pop boy band by night.
I mean that's about spot on. Like I said, there's like 2 maybe clips in that trailer that like the animation looks good, but just CG does not work well for people. I feel like at this point,
Yeah, I feel like also like
unless it's stupid
I
expensive.
feel like his glasses are like so much bigger now.
Yeah, and they're not the like. They don't have the side things. They're just like the
side
big
squiggle
bottle
things.
cap.
Yeah, it's just like giant fucking glasses. I don't know, like
But like there was people that talked about his hair was down. His hair was down in the original show a little bit. He just spiked it up.
yeah, he had it down occasionally.
You know, when he would wake up in the morning. So
Yeah, and then he
I mean, if he
fixed
does, if he doesn't spike up his hair in the show, then I say we riot.
I think like
also if they don't get Johnny Young Bosch.
I don't think anyone else could do it.
like because I noticed this finishing Skelly Knight that there are moments that they'll use like CG just not when anything important's happening, and that's fine
Right.
because like the characters aren't like mainframe they're like doing subtle movements. It's not a huge deal, but like when you
Even
try
then,
to,
sometimes in Scaly Knight, like whenever they're switching to CG, like it's like ooh,
yeah, it gets a little choppy, like back and forth. But like, I
because
just
it's not
don't
like
know.
that through the whole thing. But like
Yeah.
it's strange whenever I see it. I'm just like, why did you choose to go CG there? Like it just
Yeah.
seemed. I think it was like in the last episode I watched was it's not the final episode. It was whenever he came across the Beastmaster,
Yeah, that was
and
Yeah.
one before last.
yeah, so that's let's see, there's a spot. I think they were like walking in somewhere or doing something, and like it had been animated up through that point, and then at that point it was just like and CG, and I was very confused as to the rationale of why they decided at that point they were going to change it.
Can we also talk about how because the Beastmaster's voice actor is Magna.
Yeah, it just
Black
it's
Clover. And
also
it doesn't
literally
match-
just
it
sounds
doesn't-
like Magna.
It doesn't match his body. Like, I don't know if it's because like I've watched Black Clover for so long that I'm used to seeing some like skinny punk with that voice
Yeah,
instead of like a burly, like tatted dude. I don't, it just doesn't seem like it matches.
It's really weird because that voice actor also is in, I think he's like one of the main characters in Legends of the Galactic Heroes, but it's like
Mm.
way more turned down than Magna. So it's like whenever the Beast guy was talking normally, that
Right.
was that guy. When he'd go crazy, it was Magna. So I just like
That's
kept getting
Magna's
two
only
flavors.
mode.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I'm getting two weirdly distinct characters here. But yeah, like I don't know why. I'm assuming the CG stuff's always there because it's cheaper or something. But there are just some shows it doesn't, like Scaly Knight's passable because it's kind of minor stuff. But like when that's the whole thing with like Trigun, I just don't know that. Like I'll give it a chance when it comes out, but I just like I'm not sold on it yet.
yeah. I was talking to somebody else about it, and it's just like I was just like, I'll watch it, but I'm probably not gonna be happy about it. But you
Yeah.
know, like
Oh, yeah.
I'm still
give it
gonna
a
like
couple
try and give it a
episodes.
chance.
Yeah. I give it 2 or
But-
3 episodes.
I was basically like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it for the sole purpose to just like Godfather them and be like, look what they did to my boy.
I'm gonna watch it.
They massacred my boy.
I'm gonna watch it more than I'm gonna watch the Yu Yu Hakusho live action.
You say that, watch that thing come out and be a banger.
I think it's so it's so it's like the other. It's not gonna be like Cowboy Bebop because I think it's only Japanese cast in like company, so it's not like
Like,
whatever
when-
they did
it,
with
like-
Bebop.
It's
like
like Full
the-
Metal.
Yeah, like the Full Metal or the Bleach movie.
Yeah, it's like a Japanese production.
They
It's
do
not
a
like-
Bleach one?
Japanese. Yeah, they made a Bleach one. It was like it was.
I never
alright.
watched any Bleach ever. So.
Johnny Young Bosch did the voice dubbing. So
Oh, am I
that's-
supposed to be surprised?
that was pretty cool. I mean, so you can
And anybody
watch.
from the early '90s, late 2000 or like early 2000s, late '90s that was voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. I'm like,
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah, I know Johnny Young Bosch was Ichigo, but I didn't expect them to record the English dubbing for the Japanese movie that they made.
That's fair.
Oh, did they do that?
Yeah, so he did like
Oh,
the voiceover for the
Didn't-
live
didn't
action movie.
Pay
which-
attention to any of it.
Yeah, so it was crazy. But so it could be good because like the Full Metal one was okay. It could have been way better, and it was also really weird because it was like fast pacing. The Bleach one was okay. So it could be
Did
good.
you say the Full Metal one was okay?
It was okay.
It was
give it-
okay.
It was okay.
I'll be honest.
You
I
didn't
started
watch
watching. No, I watched almost the entirety of it. I had there were 20 minutes left, and I had to
Right.
go pick up Hunter. And I was like, okay, and I paused it, and then went and picked her up. I had 20 minutes left in the movie.
Never
Came
finished.
back, I was just like, I'll watch it later. Maybe I'll watch it later. I'll watch it later. I'm just like, I don't feel like watching this. Like, it wasn't that great. Like, I don't want to watch it. And
So I
I,
think-
I just
I-
never watched it.
because I think they just killed Lust at the end of it.
I think the last fight was like either starting or something like that whenever I was
Yeah.
watching it.
It's like in a hallway or some shit.
I
I
had
don't
20
know.
minutes left and there were still probably credits.
Yeah.
So in reality, there was maybe 10 minutes left, and I just like I couldn't
Dang.
even bring myself to finish the last 10 minutes.
It was better than Death Note.
I never finished
mean,
that anime.
Isn't there a Japanese Death Note and then the American one? So isn't there two live action Death Notes?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe was really good
Yeah.
as Ryuk.
How they got that, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Like, who went to Willem Dafoe's agent and be like, listen, do you want to be like a mythical Reaper guy who kind of shows up sometimes but doesn't and likes apples? And they're like,
you want
And he's like,
15 minutes of-
it just cuts to William eating an apple. He's like, am I not already?
I thought I was.
you want 15 minutes of not even screen time because it's just your voice.
Yeah, you just want to voice act this movie, kids.
You can work from home.
Yeah. Just record it on your phone. We'll figure it out later. Don't worry about it. But yeah, CG in anime, it's like I hate to be that person because I usually defend it because it works really well in Gundam, but here
It doesn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Live action anime doesn't need to happen. I
Yeah.
get it. And they do like Broadway shows too.
Yeah, the Gundam 00 got a fucking stage play. I forgot about that. You know? Yeah, I mean, it's not even tied to the story. Like, it's not an adaptation. It's just an addition. I think it is like
Double O
Huh?
to 00.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, they
They
did
did a
stage play.
musical.
How?
Or stage play.
I mean, 00 kind of ended though. Like what?
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
Adaptation.
all Gundam ended,
Oh, just
but like none of that
adaptation.
shit technically ends. They keep writing shit in for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes place. It's like I think there's a portion that takes place somewhere between season 1 and 2. Then there's like a season 1 recap, and then it's like post movie. Because then like some designs came out for Graham Gundam and stuff like that, which looks fucking sick. But yeah, like Gundam does stupid shit like that. A bunch of anime does, I guess. But yeah, CGI doesn't look good for Vash. Sorry, Vash. Like, I don't know why they just didn't like remaster it. That'd been fine, or just done it in like a regular ass style. But no, whatever. We'll see what it looks like. Speaking of Gundam, though, new Gundam stuff, new trailers and shit looks great.
Yep. That trailer looked really dope.
Yeah, we got a psychotic baby. It's great. We're into it. Let's go. Toddlers. Well, we went from adults to teenagers to iron-blooded orphans being borderline children to a toddler massacring people in space. It's great. But yeah, no, it's supposed to be pretty different for Gundam. I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't. There's a prologue thing that comes out. May actually already be out. It's supposed to come out in July sometime. And then it comes out in October, I think. But yeah, the only other trailer was Mashoka Tensei Season 2 looks good. I don't know when it comes out, though. Sometime this year, I think.
Devil is a part-timer and Overlord Season 4 started this month.
Yeah, and
Oh,
none of
did
us
they?
have watched them, have we?
No, because they're in sub and I don't
Yeah.
have the attention span.
Yeah, I've been like trying to look, and I feel like it's been like 2 weeks, but it's probably only been like the last 3 days. But
Yeah,
it doesn't look like
uh,
anything this season has gotten a dub yet.
No, Overlord's got 2 episodes now. Devil's a part-timer came out, I think, Saturday or Friday.
So next week or the
but-
next week we'll start
but they're
seeing
not-
some.
They're not simul-dubbed, and I haven't bothered to look into it to see if they are.
Yeah, I guess that probably makes sense. There's probably the news
But
thing.
book 5 of Overlord audiobook just released. So
Yeah, you just got to Lizard Sex the book, right?
yeah, I decided to start it this week because it was the last one that they had released, and I was like, I don't want to end it on that and then only have lizard sex in my brain. And then it was like last week they're like, oh hey, Chris tweeted out that the 5th book was just now released on Audible, so I bought both, and so now they're not to the lizard sex yet, but
They're getting
it's all
there.
it's all lizard people, and it's all shit I don't care about.
Yeah. I have not listened to any more of the book. It's once I eventually finish the book I'm listening to, I'll get back to it. But yeah.
Sorry, I was watching the video of the fucking 00 stage play.
00 stage play, like
They're like, they got cockpit seats and they're on rollers and they're just scooting around.
yeah.
Sorry, hit the mic. They're scooting around the stage play with beam sabers in their hands, whacking each other. Oh, there's
Perfect.
fucking. Oh man. There's Sevy's boy.
Wait, which? Oh, Lock On. I was
Lock
like, which one?
Lock on.
Lock on. They're very shiny suits. They're made of rubber.
Yeah, they probably are.
Very squeaky stage.
I
think it's actually on Crunchyroll.
It's too much work. It's not gonna be dubbed. I'm not gonna watch it.
You go watch a dubbed Broadway play.
I mean, they did it. I probably would. I'm not gonna lie. I'd just turn that shit on the background and be like, yeah, I did this.
Remember when we ran out of random things to watch and we watched Zebra Man 2?
Yeah, I remember Zebra Man 2. Not the first one.
Yeah,
They didn't have
it
the
was the
first one.
second
They only
one.
had the second one.
It was, I have no idea. I
Yeah.
think we only watched like an hour of it.
Yeah, we didn't get all the way through it because it wasn't.
It wasn't terrible.
It was a comparable experience for us that the 70s Captain America was for me and you, Sevi.
Okay.
That's very similar, but it was much newer and much more Japanese.
Yes,
Or
we watched that
Filipino.
the Captain America movie.
God, that movie was so
When did we watch that? It was like 2015, 2016.
bad. Somewhere around there, yeah.
Uh,
We didn't watch the second one either because I had both of them.
Captain America 2: Death Too Soon.
Yeah, with fucking
Because it was the
Christopher
combo pack.
Lee was playing like a Middle Eastern terrorist. And he's just Christopher Lee. He's just white as hell. It's like, what casting is this?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Christopher Lee's like
Let's see.
super British.
Christopher Lee as Miguel.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so maybe it's Latin American. I couldn't remember. But I remember he was supposed to
Oh
not
my
be
God.
Christopher Lee, white British man. Or American. I don't remember what he is. I'm trying to look and see.
Oh man.
Doesn't say. That's
How much money did Christopher Lee need at that point that he agreed to do this?
probably a lot. Because I can't imagine that first movie did very
There
well.
are no other like names listed that stand out other than just Christopher Lee in this movie.
Maybe he just really liked. I bet he was at the age at that point that his kids might have guilted it into him. Kind of like a bunch of people are like, I didn't really know if I wanted to be a superhero, but my kids were like, oh, I love that guy, so I did it, and then I made like millions of dollars, because that's also a decision, part of that decision. But yeah, that movie's fucking awful. I'm trying to see, and I really wish. I'm pretty sure this is just not accurate. So if Crunchyroll's website is to be believed, Devil is a Part-Timer should be getting a dub.
It's on the simuldub list or simulcast list.
Yeah, they have on their news thing for their 2020 lineup. It shows what is supposed to get a dub. They don't list Overlord 4 as getting a dub yet. So I don't know if it'll happen this season or if this isn't up to date or what. But
I'm really tempted to watch it, because the subcast is still pretty good. But I really like Chris Guerrero, so I don't really want to not hear Ainz as Chris.
Yeah, you might be a season behind them because I don't know if they're. I can't. It's weird
Excuse me
that
from
this
having
isn't
to watch it.
simul-dubbed.
Yeah, it's been crazy. As popular as it is.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that, Sevi?
Looks very. Does he have a weird message? Is he calling someone? Did he answer the phone?
It was. They released another picture of Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho,
The live
actor
action.
playing him. Yeah, it was his profile shot.
Oh, so you said that to Sevi and he's just perplexed.
I sent it to Sevi. Yeah.
But yeah, so Devil is a Part-Timer. Season 2 is supposed to get a simuldub. Rent a Girlfriend, Odd Taxi, Elite Classroom of the Elite, the Dr. Stone special episode thing, Love Live, Sevi's favorite show, Harem and in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Still don't know anything about that one.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not getting a dub.
That
You'll have to watch
what
the
you guys
subs.
need to do is what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to both watch it and then see how accurately I can just completely guess the plot.
But then I would have to watch it. I don't
Hey,
wanna watch
all
it.
that means is I don't have to watch it.
Because the title alone already tells me what the show's about.
Yeah.
What was it? A harem in a labyrinth in another world or something like
Yeah,
that?
Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Yeah. Yeah. That alone tells me what's going to happen. And
Or
there's big titties on the front.
you could watch Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
I saw that.
I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Or
Listen,
such a banger as My Stepmom's Daughter is My Ex.
I saw that one today too.
Mm.
Wasn't there a show that Giga talked about that he really liked?
Domestic Girlfriend.
Yeah, and it's literally the same thing. Like this dude was dating this other chick, and then their parents got married, and then he lived with his girlfriend or whatever the hell. But they were step siblings then.
Yeah, some shit happened.
They were dating and then got turned into step siblings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really the only... It is really weird that maybe some of the cast or something is busy for Overlord, but like that seems kind of like the standout of the season that you would think would have gotten a simuldub. But
I know he was actively recording the audiobook, and I know that takes a long time.
so maybe that's
I think it's
causing a
9
delay.
hours.
Yeah, they take a while.
It's like 8 to 9 hours a book, and you gotta get it the first try.
But yeah,
I couldn't record a book. I stumble my words too much.
yeah, fuck that, dude. I don't think I could talk for more than like 10 minutes without fucking up. I know, because every time I record things, I have to do it in chunks because I eventually stumble.
Yeah. See, just give me a list of words that I have to record and then have somebody else edit all of those words together. For the most fucking
Story.
Frankenstein book reading ever.
Do like each word has different inflections and none of them match.
Exactly.
It's the abridged Sevi version.
Yeah. You can just have like like Sevi's Cliff Notes.
But yeah, so that's I guess the stuff that's not airing that maybe we're gonna watch at some point. It depends on when stuff gets dubbed, honestly, and what gets dubbed, because most of that doesn't look like shit I'm gonna watch if it's getting dubbed anyway.
No, I'm not really feeling this like second half of summer
Yeah,
lineup very much, other than Devil's a Part-Timer and Overlord. But
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, we'll see what's new, and might try a couple episodes. Because honestly, one of the standout fucking spring animes was something that I thought was just gonna be just a B-tiered, stupid. I guess I'll watch this one, the Trapped in a Dating Sim.
oh yeah, that was like
True.
one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was like legit, like
Yeah.
one of the best ones this season.
I just loved Leon's interaction with everybody.
It was great. Yeah,
He's such an asshole. It's amazing.
but but that's the thing I liked about it is at the end,
But in
like
a charming way.
you kind of see it's just like he's not really an asshole. Like his
Yeah.
whole thing is he just wants to have a quiet life,
Mhm.
and like people around him are just being shitty.
And he's
and,
calling
like,
them out on their shit.
Yeah, he's giving these people accountability, and they've
Yeah.
never had that before, and so it comes off, I think, a lot of the time as him just being an asshole. But there's so much of it, and it's just like making some of these people accountable has been good for them. Like,
Mhm.
who is it? During the jetpack racing, the skybike racing one, it was just like green hair was
Jilk, I think.
Jilk,
Yeah.
yeah, was supposed to be engaged to be married to that other girl, and like he just like sent a letter or something like that, was just like
Yeah. Broke her up via
Ah,
snail mail.
basically today's comparison of just like,
Sending a text.
hey,
It's more just like sending an email
Just
because you're
gonna-
like, hopefully they don't check their email and they'll say bye.
So it's just like that, but then it was just like him like calling him out and being like, "Hey, Joe, kind of piece of shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
fucking like." He's
apologize.
like, "Oh, but it's awkward." It's just like, yeah, it's gonna be fucking awkward, but it's super shitty what you did to them. And it's just like everyone's just like, Leon, he's such a dick. He's such an asshole. He made me feel bad for being a shitty person. It's just like, maybe not be a shitty person.
I did really like the Black Knight fight.
That was good.
And I like how he ended it. Just jumping out of his cockpit with a shotgun.
Yeah.
He went iron-blooded orphans on him.
Yeah, he was like, I'm gonna shoot you in the face, bro.
Yeah.
He said, "Have you no honor?" He's like,
Honor. Honor's dumb.
But honestly, it was a sleeper for sure. Like I think it was like the first like 3 episodes or something like that. Like I was kind of like half in, half out, like not
Yeah.
fully committed into it. It's just like, nah, I'll put this on. I think it's around the 4th episode, where he accepts the duel on what's her name's behalf.
"Oh yeah."
But like it's interesting because it's until like the very last few episodes that he's still treating this like everything it is in like just in the game. And so like he's still just like going about things the way he normally would in the game, but like the main antagonist and the main protagonist from the game are now friends with each other and him.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's still like not getting one, that he's not just a random mob, and like 2, that like the things he's done in the game has like he's affected the course of this world, and it's he can't just abide by like, oh, this is what happens in the game, this is what we have to do. That's not real anymore.
Yeah, like it's way better than it has any right to be for like a kind of basic...
For being trapped in a dating sim.
Yeah, for like something of that name, it's like it shouldn't be this good, but it's like I think there is room for a second season, and I think when we talked about it last, like it has been going for a minute, so I think they'll probably have content maybe next year or the year after. But I think out of everything this season, outside of Spy Family, because I know it's already going to continue anyway, I think it's probably the one that needs the second season the most.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I think Spy Family is that super big one that even people that don't watch like a lot of animes are watching Spy Family. I think it's like the equivalent of like the My Hero. Like when My Hero came out, like everybody.
Oh
watched
yeah,
that.
everyone's watching. Yeah.
And I'm not knocking it. It's for a good reason. Like it's good. It's a really good show. But of like the less mainstreamed like shows that have come out, like I loved Trapped in a Dating Sim. I loved Love After World Domination. But as much as I love Love After World Domination, I think Trapped in a Dating Sim needs the second season more than World Dom.
Yeah, like I think it's set up where like we actually fully have Marie as kind of an antagonist type character.
Yeah.
And we finally get the basis there. And like there's a lot to explore. I mean, the royal group guys, the 5 of them are kind of back in their families and back on track. Leon's doing his thing with Olivia and other ladies whose name I can't remember at the moment. Red Grave lady. I can't remember her first name. But yeah, I mean, I think in terms of like a vaguely kind of, I don't want to say serious because it is largely a funny show, but like when it has moments, it's like, oh yeah, this is like Leon being kind of a real person.
Right.
Yeah.
Angelica. There, right?
Angelica.
I don't know why I thought it started with an R.
Also, like,
it's Angelica Rafa Redgrade.
Oh, okay.
What do you think is happening with that? Because obviously, it's like they're building up a relationship between the three of them, but like, what is it supposed to be?
I think what's gonna happen. I mean, there's two routes, right? They could just go harem and just never commit. But I think because they've done enough development for these characters at this point that I think Olivia will do kind of something in front of Angelica, like confessing her love again to Leon. That will just kind of make Angelica be like, okay, well, I'm going to take a step back because I have feelings for Leon,
yet,
but I can't, say things.
What they should do is Angelica and Olivia get together, and then Leon goes after the queen.
There we go. That's what we want. Representation. Let's go.
He said, "What a milf."
I mean, he's dead set on it, so maybe he'll
honestly
go back after.
If the fucking little prince hadn't been there, she was kind of about it until the prince stepped in, and it's like, mom.
She's like, oh yeah, sorry.
Like, no, of course not.
I'm a queen.
Like, I don't want to look up anything into it because I know the book or the manga is already done, so I know the story is already written past the anime. I don't want to spoil it for myself because I actually want to watch this show.
Yeah, this is one I like. There are enough events that happen regularly in the show that I don't want to read ahead. Like with Spy Family, they have events, but it usually isn't something changes too much. But like Atome, yeah, I don't think there's as much content, and just rather see it in animation. Even though as much as I like this show, there's some moments I'm like, I really wish they had budget because this looks kind of dumb.
It's not like the best looking show, but
No.
it's good. It's got really good charm.
Yeah,
that goes a long way.
Yeah, it definitely sleeper hit. I think, if not for a vaguely serious show's probably my favorite. I think a fun time Spy Family is probably a little bit better, but I think for those moments, because I think Leon is forced to do that faster than Lloyd is, because Lloyd's got 3 or 4 seasons worth of content still to go.
Yeah, I did because I thought it was good, especially because it was just the way he stepped up whenever they were trying to be captured and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's a big one. Is just, he's surrounded by, honestly, I mean, at that point, he was surrounded by a bunch of cowards, and he was the only one willing to try and fight. And then they were just I was just the baddie was just no, beat him up, and everyone was like, okay, yeah, we'll beat the shit out of this guy that's supposed to be our classmate.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nobody likes it.
Yeah, and then it is interesting. I think is because what's his name? His Luxion.
Oh yeah,
that
had
is
mentioned. He's so good.
I think him and Leon, I could care less about anybody else. Just him and Leon, just
doing shit together. Is
just
so
doing
great.
shit together. I need more adventures. I wish they didn't skip so much of it.
Yeah, I just want Leon and Luxion adventures with that teacher Lucas instructing him, because he's just Leon doesn't give a shit about anybody in this world and doesn't respect anybody of authority except for that guy.
Yeah. T-Man.
And I think it's so fucking great.
The master of tea.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
I think out of all of them, I want the second season the most, but I'm also kind of middling as far as whether or not it'll get it, because it's pretty popular, but other stuff exists out there.
Hopefully it's not a Devil's a part-timer where it's 10 years apart.
Yeah. I don't I could accept 3 to 4, but I can't accept it. That's just too long.
I almost don't want much more of Love After World Domination, because at a certain point you don't have anywhere else to go.
Right.
Yeah.
If they have another season, something has to happen. their
Honestly,
relationship has to become more public.
which is the most obvious thing for it to happen is,
Yeah,
and that's should probably be how the show ends, is it's public and
yeah,
they
and
just continue on like that and retire or do whatever. I don't know.
yeah, and that's the thing is like they kind of made a solid point of like, you know, because if it was just up to Destiny, like I don't think that she would necessarily have joined Gecko or anything like that.
Mhm.
It's
If it
just
wasn't
like
family,
it's so family centered sort of a thing,
yeah.
and she really does care about like her family. I think that's why she continues with all of that. Uh, so I'm kind of curious about some of that because like they kind of teased a little bit about like her going to college and stuff like that
Mhm.
and wanting to be able to do that and you know her dad being like, oh, you just can be Gecko full time and all that stuff. So I think it'd be if they try to do anything else, I think they would need to like actually progress that more because right now I feel like anything they try to do in the second season is just going to be more of the same from the first season, just
Right.
different situations. And like, I think if you're going to have a second season, I have to see some like growth. Like something has to be happening to progress. I can't just have these like slice of life one offs for a whole nother season without anything happening.
Right.
Yeah. It
Raise
like
the stakes.
out of the
Yeah.
things we were like watching from this last season, I think this is the one I'd be okay with if it didn't get a second season. Like if it just stopped here, I'm okay with that.
'Cause that's the thing is the way it ended, it's not a bad stop.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
could end it there and everyone's like, oh, let's continue to do this for all of time and it's fine.
Yeah, like it's if this was just a single 12 episode season thing and they just ended it there, it's not a bad ending, honestly. I mean, I feel like they could have like forced something and it would have been a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
But just kind of like, they came together in front of everybody to like cut the cake, defeat the thing, and they did that in front of everybody. And like at the end of it, it's just like they have that weird demon baby now.
Yeah.
The whatever the fuck, the Mr. Bison looking motherfucker, the lead of
Yeah.
Gecko. He's got the baby now, and he was like throwing it up in the air.
But that baby was constantly calling Reaper mama.
Mama.
Yeah. So like that one, yeah, I wouldn't mind a second season, but I really don't feel like it needs one. Out of the other things, like Atome definitely needs one, and I think Skelly Knight could also use one, and it's set up for one. But yeah, I mean, Love After World Domination had a suitable ending, and sure it could go places, but yeah, I think I've got the serotonin I needed out of it. So
Skeleton Knight is doing the thing
Here,
like they do
let's just
in
you guys stop and just chill and just like shut the fuck up for 20 minutes, and I'll just watch the next episode real fast.
we'll just like
I said
Sevi
shut the fuck up for the next 20 solid minutes. No talking. Do not look at me in the eyes.
just step in Discord and we'll just talk shit for the next 20 minutes.
No, I'll catch up on it.
We'll just like live react to Sevi's face.
It's more of a just a question about the show. It's like, do you like how it's doing the same thing that a couple other isekais are doing, where it's getting political? Like, do you want that?
Fucking love like throw politics in everything. I don't give
Cody
a shit.
Cody is the wrong fucking person to ask that question.
Yeah, like
he is the demographic.
Let's go.
I think
Because like Overlord did it.
Yeah, I think it's expected. I mean, obviously, I think Overlord did it quicker than others. But like, I think it's to be expected as you come into this new world, and most of the time as like a super powerful being. That people are gonna start taking an interest in you, because that's essentially what happened in Slime, like with Rimuru, is like he was really strong, and people were just like, how?
And it was a village of monsters. And
yeah, and it was just like,
the fuck
none of it really became like planned. Like most of what he was doing was just because he's just like, I just want to have a nice, quiet life.
Mhm.
Like that's really what I'm looking for. And then things just kind of kept happening around him that he was just like, well, I can't just like let this happen. Like, oh,
Right.
I gotta do something. I can't just let it go on. And I think with a lot of, I think why it's such a staple in a lot of isekais is one, like a lot of it follows, with the exception of Overlord, your protagonist who's a good guy, with the except like Overlord
Right.
not included.
Right.
But like he has his own reasons in Overlord.
Yeah.
But and the other one's just like, oh, they're a good person. They're here in this world. They're super powerful, and there's like most of the times there's some corrupt shit going on. Like
Right.
otherwise, they wouldn't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So I think diving into a lot of the corruption and the evil and stuff in the world, like ends up getting political. Because there's all these other things happening.
Right.
So unless it's like, you know, one of these where it's just like, oh, you've been specifically summoned to defeat the Demon King, the Demon Lord, the Devil
Mhm.
Boy, whatever it is, where it's just like
like
right
Shield
there,
Hero and
there's the
Assassinate.
evil.
Yeah.
There it is. Go get it.
They'll get it. Yeah.
Without that, then it's just like, oh, this is a nice world, but you have to have conflict. And if it's a
Right.
seemingly nice world without obvious conflict, then political corruption is typically
Right.
where it's going to be headed.
That's also pretty easy to set up too.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense.
Some shows do it a lot. Like Overlord, I think is probably one of the best examples in like a fantasy setting. Like they really make it more like reasonable, right? Because like Skelly Knight has it, but it's not like.
See, with Ark, I just thought he just wanted to. He just was like, "Well, I'm here. I'm gonna adventure around and have a quest and learn new things."
Yeah, like
That's why I thought it was kind of weird that they just shoehorned in a political.
Well, I
aspect into it.
think what it's gonna, and I think this is probably part of the maybe season 2 thing, is it's gonna be stuff happening around them, not them. Like with Ainz, he is directly inserting himself into it. He is, let's
Yeah.
go, fuck
He
all
is
of you
being-
people.
He is being an antagonist. In
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
political world, because he's like this, because he basically sets up his own kingdom, his country, and tells everybody about it.
Yeah.
Like by the end of season 3. So he's actively an antagonist in that world
Yeah,
But, like-
on a political level. And
Feel
then I
like-
guess the same thing happened with Rimuru, because he's not being an antagonist, but he has a kingdom that developed.
Yeah, but like,
He's making alliances and stuff like that.
yeah, well, with Ainz set out to conquer the world.
That's true.
Rimuru set
Just
up
wanted
a
to-
small, like a like cohabited, like a federation
Yeah.
with the existing like dryads of the forest and these monsters, so they could live together in peace and harmony.
Right.
And then what was it? The fucking kingdom that attacked them. Feyru, what the fuck is it called?
It starts with an F.
I know it starts with an F. Like I think
I
like
can't remember.
Feyru is like a the Wizards of the Coast like D&D realm.
Oh.
Fucking
You'll figure it out. I
Uh,
have faith.
Fucking fuck.
Kingdom
You
of
can Google.
Falmuth,
Bowel movement.
Bowel move.
right?
Bowel movement.
I'm pretty sure that was the one. Like they're the ones that kicked off shit.
Yeah.
And them, and then basically the Holy Church. Those are the ones that instigated it, and then Rimuru was just like, I'm not gonna start it, but I'll fucking finish it. Like, fuck around and find out, which they did.
And he did indeed fuck around. And they did find out.
Yeah,
Hard.
because it was
Like 100
Like,
people.
honestly,
Just
he was still
dead.
pretty easygoing and forgiving up until the Falmouth people attacked.
The demon, yeah.
And
Demon Lord stuff.
what's her name? She's something.
She's
Shizu was killed. And it was at that point that he was just like, so what do I need to do to become a demon lord? Just like, I'm just gonna go do that real fast. I'll
like
be right
100
back.
it was like 100 souls or something like that.
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 souls. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
He's
think
like,
he collected
I'm gonna wipe out this army.
he collected like 20.
Yeah.
Double
Just to
demon
be sure.
lord.
So, and then it wasn't even that. He's just like, and who's been masterminding this? Who's this? Like,
Demon Lord Beach
Clayburn,
Boy.
whatever
Yeah.
his name is. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go fuck him up too. So like, I feel like that's another one where he just kind of got stumbled upon it.
Yeah.
But with Ark, it's just like he did try and just start doing like small quests, but
Yeah.
there's a whole nother thing of like political corruption going on with like that Beastmaster, and like had he not been there, like little child would have died picking flowers.
Fucking Beastmaster and his Digimon Season 1
So
Devil Gears. That's exactly what happened when they're like, oh, they got evil discs on them. I was like, oh, that's totally Digimon with the black gears and they're fine.
I never watched it,
You
but
ever watched Digimon?
not really.
Um,
I just never.
Did you know that they're the champions?
I have heard that once.
Did you know they're the digital champions?
Yeah. I think they were. Were they analog monsters?
No.
No, it was digital monsters.
It was
Yeah,
definitely,
it's
it was-
definitely
they were
digital.
digital monsters. Gotcha.
They were MP3
And-
monsters.
I have a
They-
song that I can give you if you need help
I'm
remembering.
pretty sure they are the champions.
I think
right.
so, yeah.
Not just the winners, the champions. It's a very
champions,
specific term.
Got that.
Of the digital world.
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
real world. They they have to stay in the digital world. AOL pays their space. That server
Well,
space is
some-
important.
Sometimes they stay in the digital world. It's kind of a
So
gray line.
Sometimes they reverse VR themselves. That's fine. It doesn't matter.
yeah, like I don't know how much of it changes in the last episode of Skelly Knight, but like a lot of this has just been like fucking Arc like falling forward. I think.
Mhm.
Like he tried taking some small stuff. He came across what the fuck do they call her? Lady something is what he always calls his
Ariane?
elf companion. Yeah. Ariane. So he came across her whenever he was just trying to like save slaves, which was just like him trying to be a good person. And then it's just like, oh yeah, there's like a huge like slavery ring. Would you help out? And it's just like he could be like, I don't want to get political upon trying to rescue your people from slavery.
Just trying to kill monsters.
So like it makes sense that like you get these people that are they're protagonists, so for the most part they have to be the good person, not including fucking Overlord. So yeah, like when this stuff happens, it's like they're not seeking it out, but they're kind of thrust into it, and I think that's
I think this
once again,
is
if you don't. What's up?
the whole like political intrigue and stuff getting thrown in. I think that's just kind of a course that each genre kind of comes to. Like Mecha didn't start political, but it got political with Gundam and Ava and stuff. And then like Shonen didn't really get there, but you started getting a little more hints of it. You went from Goku fighting random aliens to like One Piece, and like the Marines are kind of like an antagonistic force that represent the government. Then you have like the different factions in Bleach, and then you have the different villages in Naruto. Then you kind of get a little less of it in My Hero, but then you get like more of the business politics of how the heroing world works. And I think we're just getting to that point with Isekai where it's like some things are just doing it because it's kind of like a way to make your story a little more complex without having to do a whole lot with your individual character, unless you're Ainz, and that's your whole point. Like, this doesn't happen a lot in Mashoka, but they do good enough general world building, they don't have to do it as much. But yeah, it's just a thing.
Well, because I think part of it is him learning about the world still. Because, you know, in Mushoku Tensei, he grows up in it's a small town.
Yeah.
And, you know, going to teach his cousin magic is like the first time he's like in a larger city. And then, you know, once they kind of get separated and are gone, like that's when he starts like learning more about the world and the different people.
Yeah.
I spilled my tea.
Oh, good job. But yeah, no, like it because
yeah, so I feel like because, and also keep in mind, I think this is something that like, you know, Paul in the show did often as well, where it was keep in mind that he's a kid still. So it's just like I don't think he's had the opportunity to get political and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe as he gets older, like he's gonna start like coming to head with like governments and stuff like that. I could definitely see that being a thing that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, it like because they try to hint at a little bit with Eris's dad talking about the different gray rat families and stuff.
Yeah,
and then they axe Eris's grandpa.
Because that's why Eris's mom hated him so much, because it was just like, oh, you were a boy, but Paul got to keep you.
Yeah.
And I had to give up my boys, but it's just like Paul also recused himself from like the gray whatever's like the bloodline or something like that. Like
yeah,
he's just
whatever
like
his weird branches.
I don't want any part of it. I'm just here to adventure and have a family.
Yeah.
Multiple families.
Yeah, several families. He's got the little stamp card. He goes into the family store. I'm ready for a new one. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fourth one free. Paul's working his way up. I mean, I could see it getting there, and I think the world building could do it. But yeah, I think you're right. We haven't had enough chance to see. And I could see Rudius kind of not really getting into it like Paul, but I think Eris definitely probably will, since when she finds out they axed her grandpa, she's going to be kind of mad about that.
Yeah, I think another part of it is like how they are transported to this new world. I think also depends on like how politically it gets.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like if it's just like, oh, you're from, you know, modern day Japan and now you're in this fantasy world, I feel like those get more political faster than you've been reborn into this world. You look different, you have all these different things. Like you've now grown up in this new world sort of a thing, and then it's like, oh well, yeah, like it's less political because it's just like, once again, most of the time those are just like, we've summoned you to take care of a great evil for us.
Yeah.
Can you get on that?
Yeah, they have a very specific goal versus
Yeah.
just like getting Einst or whatever, just getting put in your game world.
Yeah, so like I think like, you know, with Heinz, it is way more political than anything else. And then I don't know if you ever watched it, Dean, or not. It was how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom.
Yeah, it's in my list.
I think it's like 2 or 3 seasons, maybe something like that. I watched all of it. But like that one's very much just like political, and it's just like he gets summoned to help this like failing kingdom, and he's just like a 20-something-year-old dude that has like I think he like took some accounting classes or something like that. So he's like coming in, he's like budgeting stuff and like going over like nobles need to actually say like what they're using this money for and all this stuff, and like just like holding the kingdom accountable for shit. And then like it's just a bunch of stuff that is very much very very lacking in like the whole action. I've been brought to this world and I'm super powerful, but like at one point he's just like, oh, do I have magic? They're like, oh yeah, like you have like some sort of like dark shadow magic. He's like, oh, what can I do with it? And he's like, oh sweet. And he learned how to like shadow copy or something like that, and have all of these like papers being signed and written while he was also doing other stuff.
Hell yeah.
So at one point, they're just like, "You're pushing yourself too hard," like like they do in the fight, and there's like, "You got to take a rest" and stuff like that. But like she walks in, and he's like in the office, and like kids are still writing. She's like, "You're pushing yourself too hard. You need to take a nap." He's like, "There's still work to be done." So like in that, very much more of a political anime than just your action-packed anime.
Yeah. There are some that I feel like are kind of the pinnacle of that specific niche. Like Legends of the Galactic Heroes for the space opera it's all politics with occasional cool spaceship stuff. It's super hard to recommend that stuff until someone's like, "Oh yeah, I watched an episode or two," and you're like, "Fucking watch the rest of it now." Because what do you say up front? Like, "Oh, it's politics," and then people are like, most of the time. Like even if someone is like, "Hey, watch this show because it's got politics," there's like a 60% chance I'm still not gonna watch it because I'm like, there are so many just kind of bland adaptations of that concept that I'm like, Like
there's a 93% chance if somebody says you have to watch this, I'm not watching it.
Yep.
All these other animes that you're just like, I can't believe you've never seen that. When it's just like, oh yeah, I never finished Death Note, and you're just like, I can't believe you have to finish Death Note. And it's because I knew somebody, and I was like, oh yeah, I've never seen that. He's like, you have to watch it. You have to watch it tonight. I'm just like, I don't have to fucking do anything, prick. Fuck you. I'm never watching it.
It's funny because everyone actually really liked it.
Probably.
So,
but it was the fact that somebody told me I had to do that, and I was just like,
I still haven't watched Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I watched the first 2 seasons, and then everyone was just like, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't realize the third one came out. Like, you haven't seen it yet? You gotta watch it. I'm just like,
no.
See, it's funny because it seems like a show I would watch because it's heavily D&D influenced.
Yeah, I think Taylor just caught up with it because I think I don't know if the final part's out because they're Attack on Titaning it, where it's like the final season and then there's like 2 episodes that are put out separately that are longer.
I think someone said it's another year.
Yeah, but she said it was good, but I didn't watch season 3 either. So like, well, I'm not gonna go watch it now and just do that. There's other shit I've got to watch.
Other part of it, I think, is like,
I don't like child actors.
I don't like children. Just
I don't like children. I can't. I really like Harry Potter. I can't watch the first 2 movies because they're like fucking 10. I can't watch them. I can watch them, but I'm not like into it as much as I used to be because I'm like, I just don't like watching kids.
I will say like a really good, and I don't know that he's probably not technically a child actor at this point. When Umbrella Academy first started, the guy that plays 5 in that, who is like middling teenager, he's maybe like 15, 16, at least looks, that dude fucking nails it. That dude's awesome. And
I think it's because he's not acting like a child.
He's acting like a bitter old man in a child's
he's
body.
like a bitter old man. I'm just like, I can relate to that kid.
It's like, this kid gets it. This kid.
That was me as a child.
This kid's real.
It's like kids being kids. I'm like, I don't give shit.
Yeah, like there's so many things that.
But it's like
come
Dungeons
out,
and Dragons.
just,
I like Dungeons and Dragons.
But anytime someone's like, you have to watch this, I'm just like,
it makes me want to watch it less. Yeah.
I don't want to do it now.
So you definitely, most importantly, do not have to watch Harem in a Labyrinth in Another World.
Oh, good, because I don't feel like watching that.
Just don't worry, the reverse psychology will kick in. Like later tonight, you'll be like, "Damn, that I might actually watch that." You'll think about it, it's just the meme, but then you'll get into it and be like,
it's like they're not expecting me to watch it. So what if I watch it?
What if I pull a fast one on them and be like, "Yo, Harem in Another World's the best thing ever."
You know, I know, like, we watched some, like, you know, isekai trash bullshit.
I almost wore the t-shirt today.
I had that on the other day. And I know I did finish that Demon Lord retry.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some that, like, I just haven't watched. Because there's, the second half of that, How Not to Summon?
Yeah, it's basically hentai.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to watch that. What was that one that came out a while back that people were going on about? It was like, it's like my mom and her 2-hit combo or something like.
My mom and her multi-target 2-hit attacks.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Was that the MILF Isekai?
MILF Isekai.
Like, I
haven't
never
watched that one either.
watched that one.
I don't even remember if I heard it was good. I think it was just different because it was his mom and him got transported.
But it was like his mom that was the overpowered one.
Yeah, she got all the power.
Because I was keeping a full list of like fucking just straight up isekais that I've watched.
Mm-hmm.
And like I've watched a lot of them. Some of them, not all of them, great.
No.
I would go to say that like a lot of them are bad.
Under 5 out of 10.
Well, I mean, I
That's the
think I
guy.
left some.
So there was some news that Akira Toriyama came out. So on Dragon Ball News.
So
You
he
remember who Launch was?
Probably not.
has he officially recognized Thiccolo?
No.
Damn it.
He came out with the names, the official names. And the so Dragon Ball superhero spoilers for whoever's listening. If John's listening, I know he's the one who hasn't seen it yet. He's waiting for the theatrical release. So he came out and said that the official names in Piccolo's is just Orange Piccolo.
I just like that he's just a drink now. He's just orange Fanta. It's
Akira
just orange
Toriyama
soda.
released handwritten in an interview and like whenever his like brainstorming and shit, whatever he does. He released the official names that he said, and then one of the working names for Gohan. But Piccolo's just stayed Orange Piccolo. So
This is
we
going to
need-
be one of those moments where
we need a
everyone
petition.
is going to be like, no, it's Thiccolo.
Piccolo.
Kind of like the GIF guy. He's like, no, I made it. It's GIF. And everyone's like, shut the fuck up. It's GIF.
The thing is, he doesn't even look that orange.
Yeah,
He
he's
could-
very
he-
like dark
could-
orange.
in certain I don't remember if it's the rip that I
don't
took
know.
that picture from, but he's orange. He's more orange than yellow, and he's more orange than green. He's not like the
The
color.
whole
of the
name is
orange.
going to be called Sun Bleached Orange.
Yeah, he's a very light orange.
He was really orange, and then we forgot him in the sun too long. And if you don't bring him back inside, he just stands there staring.
It's like when the orange gets kind of yellowish. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it's like
it's
when
sun
it's been
bleach,
left out in the sun too long. It's like they made the action figure first, and they're like,
On-
"Where is that?" Like, "Oh fuck, left it
Fuck.
in the yard." How long did you leave it in the yard? Like a year ago. Shit.
Gohan's it's Gohan Beast. So Gohan's going beast mode.
Yeah, I was going to say that was okay until you said that. I was like, this is not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay. And the working title when it was in production was Final Gohan, which everyone in the community says that is better. It is the final evolution of his own personal power.
I
So
still
Final
think
Gohan.
Shiny Gohan's better, but whatever.
Shiny Gohan's also better than Gohan Beast.
Gohan Beast.
Honestly,
Beast.
anything could be better than just.
So not happy with that, but it is what it is.
And again, in his older age, he's not been the most creative.
No, that's
Who's
true.
that? It's Goku. Well, what's a good defining characteristic? It's Goku Black.
He's gonna wear a black gi instead of orange.
Okay.
His hair's
Why is
going to
it
be
black?
red too because, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have a red sash. But why? Because a god switched bodies with him.
What?
And isn't it called like Super Saiyan God
No.
Blue?
It's Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. But that's what the blue form is. So it's a Super Saiyan God, which is the red form, which is the red hair. And then when he goes Super Saiyan in that form, that's where the blue hair comes from.
I
If you
thought
want
he
the-
could only maintain the God form for a limited time.
No, They figured it out because in the Broly movie, him and Vegeta both can go God. So it's
Okay.
more. It's kind of like they worked backwards, or they just didn't show it in
They
the
just reverse
manga.
engineered it.
It was off-screen training. They learned how to be God.
Like, this can
Yeah.
only be done. The only reason this can be done is because there has to be 5 Saiyans, and there hasn't
Yeah.
been those alive in this long, and now we can do it.
Well,
It can only be
technically,
done with all of them, and it's like, okay,
yeah.
well,
Well, then-
what do we
well,
do
then-
now? It's like, they can just do it now. How? We didn't
Well,
show it. We're not gonna
I'll-
tell you. What do you want to know? Are you cop?
All they have to do is do the same thing they did with Goku, but just swap Goku for Vegeta, because she's still pregnant, so Pan's still in there. So they could just.
And
do
she'll
the
always
same-
be pregnant if she lived in America.
Topical, terrible references. I
Nah,
mean,
the new
I'm not
movie,
gonna
she's
lie.
fine.
When we were talking about isekai people, I was like, there's a fairly prominent Japanese politician that got isekai lately, but
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying. I mean, he was very much like go out and bang because our declining birth rate's kind of a problem.
It should be topical for you because it was like shot with like some kind of weird Fallout-esque weapon.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a handmade gun.
yeah, it was 2 cylinders with some black powder taped to a stick, basically, and then he just put like ball bearings in there, and
Yeah, he really wanted to kill that guy.
yeah, he fucking
He
went
worked for it.
ham. They're
Nobody
like,
tells me when and how to fuck.
they're like,
And he wasn't even the active prime minister. He was like, he
Yeah.
resigned like last year or something like that.
Yeah,
So he
like-
just really hated this
I
guy.
know how
think
hard
he
it is to
resigned in
make
like
one of those.
2019. It's been a while.
Resigned.
It took him a year.
Like, it's super weird because like I had seen the memes of that prime minister being like, everyone go fuck, please, for the love of
Yeah.
God. Like, none of you are
Population.
having kids. Why are you not having kids?
It was a severe population problem.
Yeah. I mean, most of the civilized world does at this point, but Japan's
Well,
still
I
further.
think we have an overpopulation. They have the opposite.
No, it's a crazy thing. So, this is a side story, but I won't run long. The reason I haven't been listening to Overlord is I'm listening to a book about cultural decline and stuff. In most of the civilized world, because we're so urbanized, have less kids, so we don't meet our replacement rate, but our populations continue to grow because people don't fucking die. So our life expectancy in the last 100 years has almost doubled.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh yeah, we're growing super far, but we're having less kids because we're all fucking old people now.
We did another plague.
Thanks, boomers.
Well, they almost had it.
Yeah,
I mean,
round two.
we tried.
Round 2 or 3 or whatever.
The breaking news: the millennials ruined the plague.
They ruined the culling.
We were just buying too many avocado toasts to buy a house to support COVID.
I've never had avocado toast.
Me either. I've had avocado and I've had toast, but I don't think it once.
I've never
I
had
believe
them
you, but you've never had toast before.
Never.
both. Look at that
Bread.
body. He's never eaten a carb in his life. You see how
Oh.
lean this man is?
Yeah, I mean, from here up, then
Yeah,
here
you know-
down.
You know Cody. If you say carb, he's immediately thinking carburetors. Such a car dude. just
I'm
a
such a car
total. Yeah, whenever he's a mech head, that's what everybody's talking about.
dude. Yeah, I'm
Mechanic.
like, look at that car. It's a good car.
I need you to fix my cars, Cody.
Okay, I'll come. I'll bring car tools and I'll do the car stuff. I'll do car
Honestly,
business to them.
I'm honestly surprised the Lincoln hasn't broken down.
Oh shit! I forgot the. Yeah,
Did
so
it die?
so it broke down at the beginning of the pandemic, so I just never
Yeah.
went to go get it fixed. So it sat there for 2 years. It was like, I'll eventually get around to it, and I never did. So our apartment was like, hey, your car is obviously inoperable. We're gonna tow it. I was like, well, I don't really want you to tow it.
Right.
And they're like, well, move it. And I'm like, well, I can't move it because it doesn't fucking run.
Because it's inoperable.
Yeah, so I had to call this dude that we know to tow it, and he just junked it for us, and
Oh, no.
it doesn't exist. So
Oh man, big rip to the Lincoln.
Eh.
Thought it was
I mean,
gonna
it
go
is
forever.
sad, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't have to deal with it anymore. It is not something I have to concern myself with. And we have Taylor's car, and it's way more fuel efficient than mine. So
Big rip.
I remember at the beginning of the pandemic, you were talking to me about car stuff, because you're like, I don't know. Lincoln just kind of stopped working the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I should probably try and see what it's gonna take to get fixed, but by just
Did
looking
they-
to getting a new car.
Yeah, well,
Did they
because
even tell you what was wrong with it?
yeah, it fucking stupid too. So the big problem that would kind of like cause it to stop.
He's like it was fixable, and then I left it there for 2 years, and then it
Well,
was inoperable.
So the problem was it when I took it in for them to tell me what was wrong with it. They were like, "Your problem right now, technically, is just spark plugs, but your engine mounts don't work, which is why you ride rough." And there was something else that they're like, "This is going to be a problem in 6 months," and I was like, "Okay, maybe." But then they're like, "We'll fix it for like $2,600," and I was like, "You won't be fixing it." So I talked to Dad, and he was like, "I mean, it might be worth fixing, but that might just be total. That just totals the car, basically. It's just that equivalent. Like that's how much it's worth."
Yeah.
They're like, well, I don't go
You've had
fuck
it
with people.
since, like 2011, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that car lasted a decade, so
You got it right before college.
it was a car. It did good. It will be missed, but I don't have to deal with it anymore, so that's nice.
Hell yeah.
Cars. Big car guy. No car things.
Big car guy, Cody.
Yeah. Car guy
Do
Cody.
you want to make a note of where we are in the recording so you can just cut all of this?
No, fuck no, we're leaving
Yeah,
this in. Everyone can deal
Leave
with
it all
this.
in there. This is just turning into hangouts.
Yeah, I mean, I did the like 6 other people. Well, I guess 2 for us. So Holly is the 7th view here. She'll be like, "Oh, cool, I didn't know that," and that's the only other people that will watch this, other than maybe Dean's work guy, John or whatever.
Oh,
He might. I don't know if he'll get this far in, but
Probably not. He's a Dragon Ball guy.
yeah. So yeah, when he was like, "Oh, Dragon's Ball spoilers, I'm out," so he's not gonna hear this either.
Also, I was gonna record a little bit at RetroCon, but it was not worth it. So
What?
I went to a convention this weekend. I went to
Oh.
Retro Expo at the Plano Event Center. Because family, my cousin and her husband were going, and so we went and hung out with them. And it was cool. Like the dealer room was pretty cool. But I was there and I was looking around. I was like, for something called Retro Expo, there's not a whole lot of retro. It was like just shit you could buy the past. It was just shit you could buy the last 10 years. Like there was a couple of booths that was like, like vintage video games and stuff like that, and like some reproductions of old stuff. But I was like, man, there's just like not really a whole lot of like anything really. It was cool to look at, but I don't know.
And so now the world knows RetroCon. Yeah.
Retro Expo, and they're gonna have another one in November.
Oh.
Anthony Daniels is supposed to be there, so I guess I can go and tell him he's a fucking asshole.
Who?
C3PO.
Oh, yeah.
I could go there and pay him $50. Actually, it's probably gonna be 100 for his meet and greet or his autograph. Pay $100 to tell him to go fuck himself, and then I'll be escorted from the premises.
I mean, if you do that, get like a
Don't pay
GoPro
him.
ahead of
Just
time.
go spit at him.
Just go spit in his face.
In his face. If I'm just like, listen, I was gonna pay you and just tell you you're a fucking asshole,
Figured it
but
wasn't worth it.
you'd kick me out anyway. So just spit in his face, and be like, fuck you.
Make sure you get a GoPro so you can film it.
R2D2
Yeah.
is better, bitch.
But anyways, that was all right. I didn't see Chris Sabat. We left like at 12:30. He was gonna start at noon, but I think they had a whole room set up for like celebrity autographs, and I think he went directly to that. So
You mean you didn't go get drinks with the Black Power Ranger again?
no. Where was that at? That was
I don't fucking know, dude.
it was in Dallas. I just forget the name of the convention.
I just remember you texting me being like,
Yeah.
I'm getting a drink with the Black Power Ranger.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Walter Emmanuel Jones.
That guy.
Cool dude. I still didn't ask him what happened to his finger. I feel like that's random.
Well, you know.
Which I think is a good thing,
Yeah.
but like, man, it just eats at you.
It's like, what if?
Like whenever I had that, like that FBI agent that had to come because somebody listed me as a reference in their like background check for
yeah.
like government security clearance.
Yeah.
And so they had to come like ask me questions. And so like he like came and sat down and everything like that. And he was writing and he was like missing part of his finger, part of his ring finger. And I was just like,
I want to
ask him,
know.
ask him. I want to know. I want to know. I'm like,
Ask
that's
him.
not polite. It's not polite.
Intrusive thoughts.
Like,
I want to know.
you know, I know enough to know that it's not polite to ask people how I guess they lost not even a limb, it's a digit.
An appendage of some sort.
But I
traumatic
still think
injury?
about that. I still think about that sometimes. I'm just like, well,
My
I want
golf-
to know what happened.
My golf coach had a nub.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember what happened to it. Yeah.
I don't remember. I knew at one point, or at least I had heard a story at one point. I don't know if it was true. I can't remember what it was though.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't meet anybody. There was like 4 cosplayers there, so
Great.
wasn't even. There was a predator. That was kind of cool.
When you say predator,
I just saw it in his face.
Do
I was
you-
like, oh, gosh,
I'm sure there was a lot of predators there, but this one was in costume.
still like, it was like a trench coat.
There
he was just
there
like,
was a guy in a trench coat.
I got some candy. You want to come over here in this dark corner with me?
No, from the movie Predator. Well, probably Predator 2, because he didn't look exactly like the Predator from Predator.
Or it's the
I mean,
Predator from the
have
new
you heard
upcoming
about
Predator
those
series.
Hollywood, like that, a predator from a movie could be a lot of different people.
Damn it, so me.
In like real Predator franchise
Yeah,
discussion point, I suppose. Have you guys
Right.
seen the trailer for that new? It's supposed to be like Native Americans versus Predators, and it's like
no. That sounds
I get
awful.
the vibe of why this initially in a boardroom sounded like a good idea, but
Is this
why
another one of those
past that?
things where there's like Native Americans versus Predator? Also, all of these Native Americans are white.
I didn't look at the casting list, but they didn't look purely white, so maybe. It's hard to say. Because I looked at it and I was like, this is fucking stupid, and then I turned it off. It's like, you have had like advanced, like, aliens fighting the Predators, people with guns fighting the Predators, and you're like, no. No. Taking it old school, going back. Bows and arrows. They can't win. It's the perfect technology. It's fucking dumb. But it exists. I don't remember who. I think it's supposed to be like a Hulu show or something. Yeah. That's a show. It exists, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I did get this thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, you sent me a picture of that, or a little video.
Oh yes, from everybody's favorite Dragon
Hey,
Ball
that's the-
series.
That's the only good thing about GT. I will die on that hill.
It's a good hill to die on, I feel like.
$20. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've seen stuff like that go for like 40. So who knows
Good
if it was real?
I guess I guess back on the topic of anime. Of the stuff that's I guess what finished airing or is airing, is that everything?
Yeah, I mean, I
think
think we've only, like, because
Uh,
we haven't watched a lot of anime in the last, like, 2 to 3 weeks.
No, I think that Shikamori's More Than Just a Cutie is still airing.
Yeah, I have to still catch
That
up
one I
on
don't think
that.
is finished. I've kind of stalled out on that Ascendance of a Bookworm. I think the 3rd season was airing of that. It might still be. I don't know. I just got to a point where the main character has just become so fucking annoying to me. Because like the whole thing is just like she is obsessed with books and wanting to read. And she's just like kind of throwing everything to the wind. She's like, "Nah, fuck everything. Like, if it means I can get a book, who the fuck cares?" And it's got to the point where it's like become like a detriment to other people because of how careless she is about just trying to fucking get a book. Like instead of like talking to people and learning about how this new world works and all this stuff, she's just still so preoccupied with getting to read something. That I was just like, it's the them as a main character had become like unbearable for me. I was like, maybe I'll take a step back and I'll come back to it and see if it's any better if I can get past it. I know somebody that did watch it and they were just like, yeah, it's about that time that like it's pretty much just like you get really fed up with her and then like some other things happen that kind of make it go a little bit better. So I might try and pick it back up at some point, but yeah, I got 2 episodes into the second season and it was just like, fuck this person.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Haven't started it.
have not. Yeah, like the week we like the first week we didn't record threw me off so much that I haven't like. Today's the first day in like 2 weeks I think I've watched any anime. We did finish. I finished season 3 of The Boys. Taylor watched all 3 seasons of The Boys in like the last week.
Nice.
Yeah, she liked it. Finished Miss Marvel. It was good. Finished Umbrella
That's
Academy.
what I was
It was
watching.
good.
I have not heard that it was good.
Yeah, it's good.
What?
Like everyone else, Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
I've liked it so far.
Okay.
This is
Yeah,
a hill
sure,
I'll die on for everyone else.
I mean,
It's
I've
a
heard
good
it was
series.
terrible.
Like,
Uh,
I don't. I think it's probably better.
took some liberties with like how her powers and stuff work, I think.
Yeah, I think they're leaning
what
less. They're leaning away from the inhuman aspect, which.
What
Okay.
does her powers consist of?
It's like hard light manipulation.
Yeah, some of the
uh,
CG in it does look a little wonky, but a lot of shows are having that issue right now because.
So instead of like her actually like elongating and growing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like there's like this hard light stuff that does it instead around her. And she's able to like throw out like hard light platforms that she can like walk on and whatnot.
Hmm.
Or like shield herself from.
It's pretty good.
Um,
Like I think it's just people kind of being butthurt about stuff, but
Yeah, I mean I've actually enjoyed it quite a bit so far.
Yeah.
Hunter and I have been watching it. I forgot about fuck, I don't remember the last episode I watched now. I think it was like episode 4 or something like that was the last one I watched.
okay. So you're almost done. You only have like 2 episodes left, I think.
Yeah. It's one of those things that like I'll sit down, I'm like, oh, what are we watching? I'm just like, I don't remember what we were watching. Because it's one of those things that it's coming out like every week. And I just if I'm not sitting down watching all of it like back to back over the course of like several days, like I have a hard time remembering it. Unless I have a list. Like I do for fucking anime now.
Yeah. Like there needs to be like a my anime list for just regular ass shows because there's some that I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, yeah, I forgot we watched that. But yeah, that was
Yeah. This season I've actually been using the my anime list because I've just like I'm able to just go to my currently watching tab and like as I watch stuff just like I never noticed that there's just a like little plus that you can just add an episode to from there.
Yeah.
So I've been actually using that and that's how I've been like staying caught up on what I still need to watch and what episodes I'm on.
It helps a lot. Just like yeah, there's a lot of stuff that Taylor will be like, oh, we should watch this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And a lot of it is really good, but it just like some of it I forget, like, because I'm like, oh shit, I forgot we watched that. But yeah, Boys, Miss Marvel, Umbrella Academy, all pretty much bangers.
Yeah, I need to start the 3rd season of Umbrella Academy. I like the first 2.
Yeah, it's as good as the other 2. I'll say that.
Okay.
It stays pretty consistent quality wise, so I don't want to say anything else though, 'cause I don't want to spoil anything. It's
Sounds
good.
good.
It's good. I think it's the only other thing
Good.
I've watched in like the last. I think it's the last
Let's
week.
see. What are we at time wise?
1:30.
Hour 40.
Okay. I mean, do you have any other like anime specific things? Otherwise, we'll just be sitting here rambling.
Yeah, that's true. Not that I can think of. Is there anything you guys can think of off the top of your head?
I've got the shared doc. Got that up. Other than Dean's highlighted one, which is
Is it changed?
interesting.
It has changed again.
Where's the Google Doc?
You gotta find it. You gotta do the thing. You gotta do the internets. We're just gonna keep changing it to other like random bullshit shows.
I haven't seen the Google Doc since the last time we recorded, which was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did you post it?
There you go.
Yeah.
You gotta look.
All right. What have I been watching or have watched? What did I rate a 10 out of 10? I'm a big fan of the Desperate Housewives.
Apparently,
Yeah, you love Eva
Apparently.
Longoria.
every single episode too.
Damn, I rated it a 10 too. Jeez.
Is this your favorite show of all time?
Oh, you know, I
Next
got
to
a
the funny episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah. Just those though, not the other ones.
got tattoos in planned for both of those.
I just want you to get a really big back tattoo of Ray Romano's face now.
It's gonna be Ray Romano holding Eva Longoria.
Okay, I'll get behind this. It's a bad lifestyle choice, but I can support it. But yeah, outside of anime stuff, like I said, I just haven't watched anything else. So I haven't watched any more Naruto or picked back up on any of the stuff I dropped this season. So maybe this season or this week will be different, but we'll see.
I forgot what I was doing. I know I bought a VR set, and that'll come in this week.
Like, what VR set did you get?
The Quest 2. It's Meta Quest 2 now. It's not called the Oculus Quest 2 anymore. Because
Doesn't that go to
Facebook-
your computer though?
no,
Oh, it's an independent thing.
I
Okay.
think
you have a cable. You can, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ordered a separate cable to come with it,
Weird. Okay.
but
should
you
need a
don't-
separate one.
I don't know. I just ordered another one anyway,
Yeah.
in case it wasn't a high enough bit rate.
So it's gonna be like,
Uh,
does your computer
I-
even work with VR?
I had gotten one,
The
but it
details-
was
because you have the first Quest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I played a couple things on it, and then she was talking about it, and she got a raise and got paid more, so we were both talking about it, and all the
'Cause
money's in one account anyway.
I've got I have a longer cable.
Mhm.
Uh,
I think that's why I ordered it. It's like 16 feet or something like that.
I think this one's like a 20-foot cable or
Yeah.
something like that. And then I've got like one of my mic stands like held
Mhm.
up super high and everything like that. So, because otherwise, like, it's just like on the ground, and I don't want it to be like wrapped up
Right.
or trapped around me. So, like, I just kind of keep it to where like it's hanging up above me.
But with the Quest, unlike the Vive and everything like else, like you don't have, it's like its own setup. Like you don't need to set up. What is that? The
Sensors and stuff like we
Sensor
did
stands?
for because it was the
Yeah.
Vive that Cole had.
Yeah. which is really cool, and it's more of the higher end one, the Vive and everything. But
The Steam's Index, I think is what it's
Steam
called.
Index,
That's been regarded as I think one of the best ones, but it's also
Yeah.
like a grand.
yeah, it was like, I think with the cable and everything, it's like $340 after taxes, which isn't too bad. I think what did it is because we went to main event after the. Cody, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm just doing my own thing, man. Just let me do my
I
own
just-
thing over here.
Slowly watching it. Hey, we went to main event after the convention, and there was a couple of VR stuff set up, and I think that's what put the thought into her brain. And
Yeah,
I told her,
mean,
I was like, you'd have to, if you want to get the other stuff, you'd have to just basically get a whole new PC set up because mine's not. gonna run
Yes.
it.
yeah, you have to get a
Like $2,000, something like that. You might be
Yeah,
able
I
to get it
mean,
for 1,000, maybe a little bit
yeah,
over.
you might be able to. There's actually some
Just
other
depends on
places that do some pretty
yeah.
decent pre-built that
Your
they
VR,
making.
VR ready pre-builts, yeah.
Um,
But
I mean, even then, you're still looking at close to $1,000.
right,
Um,
so that'll
and
be
a lot of the times, people were getting pre-builts just because that was the only way you could get graphics cards. But now that the
yeah.
crypto market's crashed, like
Hell
it's
yeah.
easy to people aren't
Mm-hmm.
trying to buy those cards anymore because they
Crypto
lose
and
money.
crypto and NFTs have crashed.
Economy.
I never expected NFTs to fucking start soaring, man.
Who would have done
It was
an
it was all
unsustainable?
wandering. That's all it was.
Who would have
That's
done
all NFTs were.
an unsustainable, infinite form of currency would have failed? Who would have thought? Where its whole basis of value is buying and selling.
Economics. How does it work? No one knows.
The more you buy of something, the more value it's going to be.
Until it isn't.
Yeah, the more people sell, the lower the value is.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's
Cool.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk about
About economics.
very little anime, and just the random
Yeah,
other shit that's
random
been
other
going on, I guess, in our lives.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, that's what words. So yeah, thanks for stopping in and listening to us ramble for like an hour and a half. We should hopefully be back next week with maybe more anime, possibly. We'll see. But other than that, we've been the Weeb Trash Podcast. See you next time.
forget what to say.
What?
Did you forget what to say?
Yeah, I did.